Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Top 5. Today we are talking about what are the top 5 items that we run or operate from our lithium and solar package. This is a question that we get often, is what items can we run and for how long? So I'm going to pick the top 5 items that we run from our Battleborn battery power system, and I'll let you know how long we can run these items for. So just a quick reminder of what our Battleborn battery package includes. We have 3 game changers. They sit underneath our bed, and those 3 game changers each have 270 amp hours each, giving us a total of 810 amp hours. Those 3 game changers are just there to run all of our 120 volt systems. So our outlets, or our air conditioner, things that, or maybe a microwave, things that are running off of a 120 volt system. We also have 2 100 amp hour batteries, and they sit underneath our stairwell, and they're responsible for working all of our DC power. So lights, water pump, thermostat, things like that. So combined, it gives us 1010 amp hour of power, but it's a split system, and that's where things get a little complicated. For a more in-depth description of how our system works, I'll leave a link down in the comment section and in the description of a full walkthrough tour of our power system. We also have 1200 watts of solar up on the roof for the 3 game changers, and a 100 watt panel for the 2 100 amp batteries. So let's jump right into this and start with our top 5 items that we run. These are in no particular order, but the one that we get asked most about is our air conditioner. So our air conditioner is in our top 5 things of what we can operate. It was the #1 reason for making this expansion package in this RV, so that we could run the AC while boondocking, while dry camping, but also it would run the AC in case of a power outage at a campground. So if our power were to go out at a campground, our Battleborn batteries automatically step in and continue to run the AC even with the power off at the pedestal. And that was mainly to protect Belle if she was left in the RV, if Sabrina and I were doing like a date night and we were going to dinner or something, and we weren't bringing Belle with us and she was back at the RV for maybe a couple hours, that if the power did go out, she's safe. Now, the main question that we get is how long can we run the air conditioner for? And of course it varies on temperatures and all sorts of things, and that's what most people will tell you, and that's what I tell you too. But there is a minimum amount, because we know that our AC uses about 1500 watts per hour. So in the most extreme condition, if we were to turn our AC on and it never shut off, that compressor ran full amount for the full, whatever amount of time it needed, it would run for about 6 hours. Now, typically, that's not how your air conditioner works. It does kick on and kick off. And that, I should also say, would be overnight when we didn't get any power from our panels. Same scenario, daytime, power coming in from our panels, we're going to get about 10 to 12 hours out of our air conditioner, running full time, never taking a break. There have been times that our AC, during cycling periods, kicking on, kicking off, as it gets the temperature, it shuts off, warms back up, kicks back on again. There's been times that we've run the AC for 16 hours, just depending on what the climate is outside, sunny, dark, but bare minimum, we're always going to get at least 6 hours out of it. Maximum, it could run for an entire week, depending on temperatures and sunlight. Our #2 item that we run a lot from our Battleborn batteries is our microwave. And again, our microwave is enormous. It is also close to a 1500 watt microwave. It's residential size, I guess you could say. And again, minimums are going to be exactly the same as our air conditioner. So a minimum of 6 to 7 hours, because a microwave, even when you're running it full on, does cycle on and off. It never stays on. So you'll get a couple more hours out of it. I don't know anybody that runs their microwave for that long. We typically just run it for 5 to 10 minutes, and then it shuts off and the power gets right back into it from the solar. So the microwave to us almost doesn't use any power because our solar panels are always putting the power back in after the microwave kicks off after 10 minutes. It's only if we were to use it as a convection oven, which it also does. And we have done that. But again, even in convection mode, like if a pizza, if we're baking something, again, it's like 15 to 30 minutes and then you're done with it. So it's great to have this power and not really worry about it. We truly feel like we are plugged into 30 amp power between the massive amount of battery power that we have and the massive amount of solar that we have. An item that you may not think of is our air fryer. We love the air fryer. Sabrina wanted an air fryer. She tried to talk me into buying an air fryer for a long time. And I was like, I think it's kind of gimmicky. I can't really see what we're going to use it for. I love the air fryer now. We use it for fries. We use it for veggies. And again, the air fryer is something that can run for like 10, 20 minutes. It's about a 1200 watt or right around 1000 watt item. It might be closer to that 1200 watt. It's a decent size air fryer. So about 8 hours minimum with sun. It's unlimited. It's not even a question for our air fryer either, because again, you're only running it for about 30 minutes at a time. But the air fryer has been a great little addition to the way that we prep food and make food and stuff like that. If you're thinking about buying an air fryer, we highly recommend getting one. Number 4 is a blender. So we use a little Ninja blender. I think it's a 1000 watt blender. Again, you're not running it for a long period of time. There really is no minimum or maximum because you just couldn't use this thing enough to ever really drain your batteries. You put a dent in it, and then once you're done using it, the solar's going to put that power right back in. A lot of times we'll use that blender, and there's a cool little Victron app. We have a 3000 watt inverter. There's a cool little Victron app that I can watch how much power things are using in real time, and it doesn't even really move the needle while running the blender during the daylight, because the solar is bringing power in just as fast as the blender is pulling the power out of the batteries. But again, that little Ninja blender, it's great. Now, this is where it gets fun. Because of that 3000 watt inverter that we have, we can actually run an air fryer and that little Ninja blender at the same exact time. That's something that really surprised us. We didn't know that we would be able to do multiple items and combine items together. We can run the AC unit and that blender at the same time. That inverter is strong enough or powerful enough to be able to take those type of loads. So, air fryer and blender running together, we could do that for about, we'll say about 5 hours. Again, that's a lot of time of using a blender and an air fryer. But again, these are questions that we get a lot. People really want to know, like, how long can you run things for? So it's kind of amazing to us. Again, it goes back to the fact that the way that our system is wired in, that we truly have 30 amp service everywhere we go. So anything we can do at a campground, we can do off-grid or unplugged. And we'll take that a step further. This system is putting out such clean power that we feel that our items run smoother and more efficient off the batteries than even plugged in a campground. Because, campground voltage can be all over the place. Some campgrounds have better power than others, but this is a true, 120 volt, constant, clean power. It's a great, great system. Item number 5 is something that we didn't even know that we would want in our RV, but now that we have one, we wouldn't RV without it. It's been a great little addition to the RV. We bought it with the RV, and that's our AC heat pump. So our air conditioner has a feature that it can pump out hot air as well as cold air. It does have a limitation that it has to be above 40 degrees outside. There's been times that we've used it at like 38, 39, but typically 40 degrees seems to be the number or temperature that it seems to like. So 40 degrees and above, we can use our heat pump. And we use this heat pump a lot because typically we don't want to be in freezing temperatures. So it's nice that we can run the AC heat pump, run it from our Battleborn batteries, and not use up propane. Because the Battleborn batteries are going to recharge from the sun and get renewed on their own. Whereas if we start using our furnace, then we got to pick up our camp, move, fill up our propane tanks, and come back. So that has been one of the surprising items that we can operate is that AC heat pump. So they are the 5 items. I hope this answers a couple of the questions. It's a fun subject to talk about. I feel like we don't talk about our battle-born batteries enough because they are kind of just in here. They're out of sight, they're out of mind, and they're always working for us. So it's not something that's like typically a fun video to kind of show because they, like, again, it kind of just works and they're not really moving or doing anything. So there's nothing really to show except for the fact that they just work. So again, I hope you liked the video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, I'm okay with you giving it a thumbs down. But I do ask, if you didn't like the video and you do give it a thumbs down, I would appreciate to know why. I'm always curious of what your thoughts are on the video and maybe what didn't you like. Maybe there was something that you wish I would have mentioned and I didn't. Please let me know. And in future videos, I could be more aware of that. And hopefully these videos get better over time. So that's a video. Take care, safe travels, and I will catch you next time.